Hello everybody, this is your Gallifreyan Time Dragon, Murphy's Law. Now, I know that some of the furries out there have a Martin Monday, but I thought I would like to try to something new, Murphy Monday, because why not? Today, while my roommate Carl, human roommate Carl, is out traveling in the TARDIS, and I have told him to be careful, no crossing of the timelines, and no pressing that purple button. That's for me only. And he promised me that he would respect that, but we shall see. Anyway, while he's out, he said that he would allow me to show you some of his plates that he got from traveling over the world. Now, true enough, he hasn't traveled as much as I have, gone all throughout the universe or time and space, but still, for a human, he has done quite a fair bit of traveling. So while he was in the Navy, and gotten some plates actually for his mom, who gave them back to him once she remarried, because they had such a smaller place to live in and not enough space, so they give him the plates back to him. So I have some of the plates here with some explanations that he wrote down about certain parts of this that may not be easily understood, but we shall see. So the first on the list is this wall plate, taken from, let's see, where are we? Ah, yes. Taken from the Isle of Rhodes in Greece. Nice little plate here. Now, the Isle of Rhodes was famous for holding, at that time, one of the 7 ancient wonders of the world, which in this case would be the Colossus of Rhodes, is shown here. Now, the only thing about it is that this picture, this depiction of it, as many others from medieval times, is in fact incorrect. And I'll get to that in a little bit. The Colossus of Rhodes, and no, we're not talking about the X-Men for any of you youngsters out there, but obviously the statue that he was named after, the Colossus of Rhodes, was the statue representing the sun god Helios. And it was built by, let's see, Charles Lindbergh in 280 BC, which, wait, what? No, I told Carl not to push that purple button. Now he's screwed everything up. What? Oh, wait. Caris, excuse me, of Lindos. Oh, Caris of Lindos in 280 BC. That's much better. The statue was 70 cubits high, or to put it in more modern terms, 33 meters, or about 108 feet tall, which was the biggest statue ever built at that time, which is why it's one of the 7 ancient wonders of the world. Now, unfortunately, it didn't last too long, having been destroyed by an earthquake in 226 BC, although certain parts of it were still visible for about 800 years. Now, as I said, normal depictions, a lot of depictions of it from medieval times, showing it with 1 foot on one side of the harbor and 1 foot on the other side of the harbor, sort of straddling it. Even Shakespeare's alluded to that fact, and being able to go under, well, between its feet. But there were several reasons why it was not done this way. One, the harbor would have been closed during construction, and at that time there was no way for the Rhodesians to dredge the harbor and reopen it during construction. 2, after it had fallen, then it would not have been visible, at least parts of it would not have been visible, for 800 years if it had fallen into the bay. 3, it was made primarily of bronze, and having a statue built this way in bronze, it would not have held up its weight at all, so it probably would have collapsed earlier. It is usually correctly depicted kind of like our Statue of Liberty for a good reason, although in reverse order, but it's usually shown on a pedestal on just one side of the bay. Now, I say it's like our Statue of Liberty because, in fact, our Statue of Liberty, or rather your Statue of Liberty, was modeled after the Colossus of Rhodes. So, but it is a beautiful sight. The Rhodes is. Also, they only got to spend like 1 day there, so or at least a few hours a day. So even though it's a small island, there's still a lot to see and just not enough time to see it. So moving on from roads, we have, let's see, this plate here from Alaska. He got to visit it several times. The first time was when he was helping out with the Exxon Valdez oil spill cleanup. So here's the plate from that. You can see it has like a bear, an eagle, salmon, boat, totem, you know, and like an airplane, I guess, to go from island to island. He says that he was very fortunate that he did not actually travel there during its stormy season, because that would have been really rough for him, especially as bad as those storms can get. The next plate we have is San Diego. San Diego is where he was stationed at for about 8 years, from 1988 to 1992, and then about 2002 to 2006. And it has like, and this plate has like SeaWorld, it has the Wild Animal Park, Tijuana, Mexico, San Diego Mission, San Diego Zoo, and so the Skyline, and the Cabrillo Monument, and harbor excursions. So this is definitely interesting, going to one place and then about almost 20 years later going to the same place and seeing how it's changed. It says it did change during that time too. Now then, let's see. Next plate we have actually two plates from Australia. We have this plate here showing all sorts of cute critters. We've got kiwi, a platypus, kangaroo, koala, kookaburra, frilled lizard. We have a cockatoo, and I believe that's a kinkajou. So anything says Aussie bones. It's sort of a ceramic. Over there. And we have the smaller one that says Northern Territories, Australia. Let's see, there we go. Might help if I held it up right. There we are. Northern Territories, Australia. So showing, like, I guess Aborigine art and probably a few ways of getting through some of the places. So we went to Australia, visited 3 cities in Australia: Sydney, Cairns, which is kind of spelled like Carnes, but they pronounce it Cairns, and Darwin, which, yes, was named after Charles Darwin. So the next plate that we have, I believe it's from Bahrain. He didn't leave any notes on it, but 24 karat gold is actually quite beautiful. Palm tree and some of the famous buildings around there. We have this beautiful red plate from Singapore, and that and that underneath, it just says Singapore in Chinese, and it has, you can see, a toucan and a macaw, and the Merlin from no, sorry, not Merlin, Merlion, which is the symbol of Singapore. Well, it's been the symbol of Singapore from like 1968 to, or 64 to about 1997. So, and some of the skyline there and a few flowers. You didn't get to spend much time in there, and due to some unfortunate incidents, it wasn't as good as it could have been. But we still enjoyed it somewhat. Now this plate here is from Split, Croatia, which used to be part of what's called the Dalmatian coast. Now this picture depicts kind of what would pass for downtown Split, Croatia, which is pretty much a lot different from like downtown in any city in America, where usually downtown is more modern and upscale. Here, it's pretty much the oldest part of the town. Now this one tower here that you see is actually the Cathedral of St. Dominius, built in 1100 AD. And there's also part, what you see there, is the Palace of Diocletian, which was built in 305 AD during the Holy Roman Empire. And it's just an interesting mixture of just different areas of the past put together along with the present. And it was odd because some of the people actually, normally you'd think with ruins that they would, separate them from the people, and they'd have a museum around them or something. But Carl said that many times he saw like children playing in what would have been ancient Roman ruins, and it was just very odd feeling, because usually you think of ruins and you think of scientists and people protecting them and trying to keep them away. But let's see. Oh, and here this one we have is of Hong Kong. Now, as far as the symbols he could figure out are, just a little flying line there. We have a statue of Buddha. This building here happens to be, let's see, the Bank of China Tower. Then underneath it is the Hong Kong Convention and Exhibition Center. He wasn't sure what this other building was. He tried looking around for it but couldn't find anything. And this here, if I can get it, happens to be the Hong Kong Zhuhai Macau Bridge. So like a standard Chinese boat underneath it. And that symbol, the best he can figure out, it happens to be a representation of the Bahunia blackiana, or Hong Kong orchid tree, so which is a symbol of Hong Kong. So you got to spend like one day there, and it's a pretty nice thing, a mixture of the old and the new. Let's see what else we have. We have this, which is also from Victoria. This is showing the main bay around downtown there, showing the ferry and some of the buildings there. You did get to visit this particular place and then go off to what would have been the side to see some of the sights there. Let's see. What else do we have? And over here we have a plate from San Francisco. This is showing, of course, the Golden Gate Bridge, San Francisco's famous trolley cars. And next to it, this street is Lombard Street, which is known as the crookedest street in the world. There are about 9 90-degree hairpin turns. It is very risky trying to drive in it because you have to make sure your car is small enough, and you do not want to be going down it very fast. You'll either lose control, and especially with all these hairpin turns, you could end up getting stuck. So, of course, being in California, he was able to visit it a few times. But nice plate there. Let's see. We have this plate here, which is from Naples, Italy, which is where he was stationed at for many years, especially during the Balkan Wars. Now this is showing the Neapoli coast there, and these are showing from the different regions. There's names under them, but they're extremely small, so just areas like Cagliari. A little hard to see with a microscope, but just the different regions around it. So, and of course, off in the distance is Mount Vesuvius, which was nearby. Also, there were, if I recall, there was also there was a sulfur volcano near what passed for barracks, which was actually Italian apartments. Unfortunately, it's like opening a window in the morning. It was kind of risky because the sulfur fumes from the volcano would waft in and open up the window, and you'd be smelling rotten eggs. So, but then evidently it was a popular place for people to go to relax. How people could relax by lying in the water near a sulfur volcano, I will never know. But that is that. Let's see if we have anything else. And I think that will do it. So, it said he's shown plates from all around the world and sold places around the United States. So, I hope you enjoyed this. I'll be trying to do something different each Monday if I can. You know, sometimes my schedule is hectic with trying to save people from around the universe and trying to correct time and everything. It's hard life being a Time Lord, but I enjoy it. Well, I hope y'all have enjoyed this, and I will talk with y'all later. This is Murphy's Law, Belfane Time Dragon. I hope y'all can, if y'all would like to click that like button and comment if you wish. Let your friends know about me, and I will talk with y'all later. Until then, Murphy's Law signing out. Goodbye.